Gino meets her in the elevators with Jasmine and says, "You feel 1 year." Sorry.
Here, do the cameras. He'll do the voice. I'll do the face.
Do you feel 1 year wiser?
What?
What?
The fuck did he say?
This is the only time I've liked Jasmine. She's
Don't listen to this fool.
she just annihilates him. She's like, "What the fuck are you talking?"
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.
Yo, what's up? It's Bad TV. We are here with Papaya Dog Girl in person, in from the Big Apple. What's up?
What's up?
Hey, Pat.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Okay, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What?
You paused for so long.
Well, you need to do inventory a little bit when somebody asks you how you're doing. We too flippantly say, good, okay, but...
Oh, don't you hate when someone actually gives you their real feelings? Not so good. My grandmother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't care.
No, this is a grocery store. We didn't, Yeah.
What did the grandma do, though?
Well, she died, I think, but I was too busy walking away. I had to go in the bread aisle. There was a sale.
You should hear the rest of that, because it likely is that she died, but it could be that she became Spider-Man.
Then he wouldn't. Then he would be doing very well.
Is she talking too quietly?
I can talk louder.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
should
good.
talk louder.
Okay.
Definitely. Because we're getting into 90 Day Fiance. This is a show that is a show. It is a show that is a show about what is going on.
I'm wondering if he's... Make it colder in here, Matt.
Well, it says cold. I'm making it quieter.
Oh, okay.
I can hear
Just
it.
make it colder.
It's as cold as it gets.
Okay. Are you guys feuding today? There seems to be a little bit of
Never.
tension between Pat and Kaylin.
I am a sensei. I'm a Buddhist monk. I don't argue with anybody.
Kaylin, do you have resentment towards Patrick today?
No, we had a very nice day working together today. It was a nice,
Really?
easy day.
Did you guys talk about like banging chicks or something like that?
That
Do you
is
have a fun day?
We're both taken men. That is not subject matter that is appropriate to discuss.
Okay.
You save that for a podcast.
Regular old Nicola, you two. Huh? All right, so let's get into the show after all of that hilarious stuff.
Is it not appropriate to talk about because you're married?
Well, you can do it, but it should be done at a bar when you had a couple in you and you're resentful of your situation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So now that that's covered, we've got Grandma Spider-Man. We've got like, how are you doing? Stuff like that. That's all out of the way. We should get to public service announcements. Follow Ruby on TikTok. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere at Bad TV Podcast. Join us on Patreon for Vanderpump Rules exclusive stuff and more exclusive stuff coming down the pike. Extra below deck content. I don't know what we're doing with that old person bachelor. I'm not sure. Love is Blind is coming. Get behind that paywall. Support your fave podcasters. We need to go to nice dinners. I'm kidding. I'm not trying to be trivial.
No, we need to provide for our family. I got to make a car payment.
Right. We need to.
My car is 14 years old.
We need to pay
Whoa.
our utilities because we can't right now. So if you could go to Patreon to help us pay for our gas, that would be great.
Hold on. I think that's my pool guy, Dylan.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry.
who was it?
It's the gardener.
Oh, okay. All right. So tonight, what do we have? What do we have? So many things. Gosh.
Do you remember the episode, Dylan?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me help you. What an episode. Someone died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Oh my.
Someone
Yeah.
died, dude.
How could you forget was what I was going to say to you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just a lot. It's been a lot these past couple of days. Yeah. No. David killed someone.
The translator killed someone.
Oh, the translator. I
lots
like
of
that
theories
take.
going
Yeah,
around.
Yeah.
Well, let me set the scene.
This is like a Clouseau kind of thing, though.
Okay. Here's what happened. Everybody went to sleep. And then, quiet as a mouse, David went to go sneak something out of the refrigerator or whatnot.
Yeah.
Grammy, or mom, caught him. She confronted him. She's real pissed off about that toy you gave the kid.
See,
she
this
thought
is-
he was going to bring a fucking cow.
Right.
He brought a shitty hockey game.
Yeah.
One thing, before, there's a shoving match, he pushes her right down the goddamn floor, a hole in the floor.
Here's an example of why you need
sad.
to let that person in the soda aisle finish their sentence. How are you doing? I'm okay. My grandma, you cut it off. But the tale that follows is my grandma was pushed through stairs by a giant deaf man and or his translator.
It was self-defense, to be fair.
That's a crazy story.
And he can't hear, and she can only hear if she's spoken to very loudly.
Yeah, well, she has leprosy. Oh, and also, I wanted to thank all of the cat stands. Really quick, public service announcement. A lot of people were very, very upset with Wah last week. Someone we did the show with, because she said that she thinks cats are disgusting and that she hates cats.
That's not shared by a large portion of the population.
Well, I'm happy to get into this because are you being sarcastic when you say that?
No, I don't know.
Well, this is my whole thing.
A lot of people hate rats. I wouldn't have guessed that.
What? Rats are disgusting.
There you go.
Patrick, are you comparing cats to rats?
All God's creatures.
No.
You were saying, Dylan?
A scorpion is God's creature, and so is a golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to cuddle at night? But these people that hate cats, it's fine if you want to feel that way, but to the cat hating narrative and to the cat hating community out there, just know this: the people that love cats do not come into your yard and take a shit the way that dogs do and the way you do to cat people. Cat people are not concerned with your fucking dogs. We're not bothered enough to condemn you for a bad choice of animal or demean their solitariness or whatever the fuck it is. So I would just like to say to all the people who hate cats, just take a breath and examine the fact that us cat people, you are an afterthought to us. So it's a little lopsided. I think all you people should just calm the fuck down and realize you're not as cool.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Public
Cleared
service
that
out
up.
of the way. All right. Kaylin, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So how many pots do we give this episode? Ruby, go first.
I missed Nicola
Yeah.
and Misha. I missed Sexy Razvan and Sad Amanda.
She's talking so quietly.
I'm not
right?
talking
I don't
about.
think
I
so.
boosted her mic. She's
Okay, all
good.
right.
Oh my god!
You're up in your head. You're up in your head.
Well, I don't have cans on, so she sounds like she has.
Oh, well, put your cans
Dylan.
in.
Why there aren't any cans? She sounds like she has a kind of a stoma of sorts, but
Okay.
like one that like quiets her voice
Well,
down.
you should have to trust producer Kaylin and myself to
Okay.
evaluate that.
She sounds like she's Anne Frank right now, trying to communicate with
I
her
don't know
family.
how you can
Do-
clearly
do-
evaluate the sound level, seeing as you're not wearing.
Yeah, no, that's
yeah,
a really
and
good
let me
point.
tell you something. They weren't talking even this loud, not
All
even
right.
close, Dylan.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, I missed a lot of them, but
Can you believe she pushed her? He pushed her through the stairs.
it wasn't.
Anne.
Anne, stop it! They're coming. Be quiet, Anne.
Yeah.
They hear us through the wood, Anne. Like how her mom fell through. They would hear us through that.
Yeah.
But David wouldn't. Oh, I thought that it was a really, really good episode, but it was also a hot mess. It was absolutely chaotic. 71 passports.
Pat.
Okay, I agree with Rube's sentiment. Where the fuck is Razvan and Amanda? They are the heart and soul of this franchise, this series, this season. Misha and Nicola, I miss them too. They were not seen this episode. I will also point out that we didn't really get a lot of progress in any sense of relationships. And dare I say, I felt like we're reaching some kind of ending point here, despite the fact I feel like we're just getting started. It feels like we're wrapping up the Riley Violet thing. It feels like the Cleo Christian thing has fallen apart. Oof. So, but nothing really happened. Little small interactions that were too subtle to be telling. I'm going to give it the lowest rating of the season. I'm going to give it 10 passports.
Okay.
Oh, also, Jesus Christ, producer, someone died. I know you like to make hay out of it, but you see the fucking coffin in the first shot, then you spend a full I want to say minute and a half. I'm like, who died? Who died? Who died? Who died?
Yeah.
And they made me wait a minute and a half to find out.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
What a bunch of fucking pieces of shit.
Did you think it was the dad?
I thought it could have been.
Yeah, me too.
I also thought it could be someone that we don't even care about, like a cousin or something.
Which would have really been annoying.
Because we don't know you. We don't know you.
I give it 4 pots. Kaylin, how many do you give it?
40 passports.
Okay. Did you watch?
Nope.
It's a good rating.
All right.
kinda
So
mean.
we are back in the Philippines where Sheila's mother has passed. She is the one in the coffin. She is the one that fell through the fucking stairs. How did that happen? Not sure, but we can arrive at one conclusion. David is the killer and or his translator. I think David has more mass to him. I think that the translator would struggle to kill someone as seamlessly as this seems to be.
What's that called where someone stands behind you on all fours and the other person pushes you?
Tabletop.
There you go. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Ooh, it was a combo.
You think he's a little prankster?
I don't know. I'm just saying that's how I think they pulled it off.
Well, he either physically killed her or he is some fucking arbiter of death. I'm not sure. But right when he shows up, the mom passes away. God damn, is that an omen or what?
A coinky dink?
Yeah. Holy shit. But we'll get to more of that. We first have to get to street food and jewelry shopping with Gino and Jasmine. Now, Jasmine.
Oh, we're going to move on that fast?
Well, I mean, we covered so much of it
Oh,
at the top.
no. There's a couple things, especially about Filipino culture. Anyway, when someone dies, you got to sit next to a fucking rotting corpse for 24 hours. Did
Well,
you know that?
I thought, are we
We're
going
still there.
chronologically?
That's still in
Okay,
this. They
all right.
spent the first 10 minutes of this episode on this woman dying. And so I don't like that custom because it means sitting next to a rotting corpse for 24 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when Amy mentions, because technically she's just a translator, she gets to get out of there, doesn't have to sit next to a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then David suggests,
Why would you feel so uncomfortable being next to a corpse?
well, it's a body just...
Would you not trust yourself? Would you try to fuck the body or something?
No. I just don't have an issue with sitting next to a rotting corpse.
You're weird.
Because you would fuck the rotting corpse, wouldn't you, Patrick? We
No,
knew
no,
you
no.
would. It's.
No.
Have you been to an open casket?
Yeah, and it's fucking disturbing. I stared at my Grammy's face, and I was like,
Have we
oh
ever
my
been to an open
God.
casket?
I have. You haven't.
I don't think I've ever been to one.
If you are, you won't ever want to go to one again.
Yeah, that's an odd one. I can see how it'd be beautiful, but I can also see how it'd be haunting. You know what else
They
is
put
beautiful?
makeup on them.
Yeah. You know what else is beautiful? David signing to Sheila that everything's going to be okay. She doesn't speak that language. She doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I caught that. And plus, the whole thing about Amy trying to get the fuck out of there. But also, he wants to go back to that hotel. David doesn't want to stick around by her side.
Well, did you think that was an effort to fuck her, or do you think that was him just saying, like...
I think he doesn't like death, and I don't think he wants to sit around next to a dead corpse.
I think he's a sweet guy. I don't think there was anything nefarious. I mean, he did kill her mother, but outside of that, I think he's...
Yeah, he didn't want to be near it. The guilt was overwhelming.
couldn't trust himself.
If I was going to see my girlfriend, I cared that much, I would say I want to be by your side.
Not when it's that hot out.
Good point. It's a rotting corpse. But anyway, he returns back to a hotel, and if you catch it, little fun artwork. I catch all the details. Outside in the hotel lobby, it's a painting of a monkey with a cigarette in its mouth, and it says smoking section.
Yeah. Did you like that?
That's
He
incredible.
couldn't wait to get back to that hotel, which also has bed bugs, which is way better than sitting next to a rotting corpse.
All right, let's get to some street food.
Okay.
And jewelry shopping with Gino and Jasmine. This is among the most violent outbursts we've seen from Jasmine. This is the most kind of human trafficker she's gotten. You want to talk about killing people? I mean, Gino is as good as dead. And what's particularly malicious and kind of like modiously demonic about Jasmine is that, it's so odd. The other night I saw Gino in the earlier seasons, and he looked like he had cancer. He looked like he was malnourished. He looked sick. And then he meets this Panamana Canada, like this just unbelievable beauty. She restores him only to kill him later.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of sick parasitic fungus-like creature is Jasmine? I mean, it's really, really horrific stuff. But they go into this jewelry store, and we find out some pretty unbelievable revelations. Now, they're shopping for Jasmine's sister's birthday gift, but throughout that, we find out
bait and switch.
a couple things. One, that she lost the ring that he gave her, and he is pretty confident that she is lying about that. Two, she was wearing a ring from a previous marriage to a man that she surely slaughtered. There's no way that guy can still be alive.
A lot of killing associated with this franchise.
Yeah. So inappropriate, the Learning Channel or whatever this is on, but also, am I up in my head about this? I mean, she's a murderer. She's
capable of it.
She's pawning his jewelry, lying about it. She's wearing other men's rings. And then she does this emotionally abusive thing where the gaslighting arena with him and her, like the argumentative thing, it's like a 7-year-old playing one-on-one with Shaquille O'Neal. She just dominates him every inch of the floor. It's really, really sad to see.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I've noticed, because Gino starts getting real pissed off when she admits that the ring's lost. And I finally caught the tick that he does. And this is not for the audio. This is why you got to watch this on YouTube, because this is gold. This is
The frowny face?
That Gino's like really upset. He does this thing.
Yeah.
Jasmine, I don't like that.
It is one of the most disturbing things. He is a grown man who he has a frowny face of like a 1-year-old who shit his pants. But like a really like well-tempered child who's not going to throw a fit or anything.
No.
But they are displeased and they are not communicating it in English.
And if you don't handle it, he will throw a fit. I also don't know if this was intentional by the editors, but most of that scene was shot in front of a sign that said "No guns, no hats," but he had his hat on.
Did not catch that. So she wants to expedite the whole citizenship process,
Immigration
Green card?
lawyer, yeah.
Immigration, yeah. She says we need to hire a lawyer, and he says, "Well, if you have the money, we can hire a lawyer." And she says, "Oh, okay, I'm not worthy of any of your money," which is just, if you were of clear mind, you would, I don't know, maybe like push kick her away from you, or just go, I clearly see that you're attempting to manipulate me. This is not going to work. You sound very dumb right now. But Gino just does the frowns.
Got the frowns again, that Gino.
He's got the frowns again, that Gino. We find out that like the jump to we can't hire a lawyer, oh, I'm not worthy of your money, is sloppy Jedi mind tricks that just they work on Gino. But we learn a couple of things about Gino. When he gets very upset, he does the frown face. We've known that for quite some time. But when he gets really upset, he can unleash a couple of
He can fire back.
he can fire back. Case in point, you better change your attitude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was fire coming out of him.
You better change your attitude. Holy shit.
That is a man who's had his balls removed.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But also in that moment, you were like, are you part of the Hells Angels? This is very intimidating stuff from Gino. Also, we learned that his ex-wife was Brazilian.
And he got her here with no problem.
So he's got a thing going on.
Almost like a pattern.
He's very weird. Isn't he so strange?
Yeah, I don't know why you guys don't think he possesses the ability to slaughter. Like, I think she does as well, but I think he has the ability. Like, if we found out in 18 years that he had an underground chamber, you would be like, oh my God, no way. Really?
No, all of these serial killers need to have a certain amount of strength in order to pull that off, because if push comes to shove and you need to like really handle something, you need to have a little bit of muscle behind you. If he took axe to my leg,
Not you, Dylan. He's not killing you.
no, I know, but if he took an axe to Jasmine's leg, she would beat the fuck out of him first of all. But
Well, you don't think Liz would come in with a right hook too?
oh yeah, he would stand no chance. But if he took an axe to somebody, he's so meek. I feel like it would just kind of glance off and cut
And knock a couple hairs off.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, try again. I don't want you to get angry. I don't want you to get flustered. Here is my shin.
I'll turn
Just
around.
bring it up a little bit more. I'll look away. I want you to do your best here, okay? You're fucking pathetic.
And he says, I'm not doing this with the right tools.
You know, I do want to bring up one quick note for Liz, and I know I think we're celebrating her 20th birthday tonight. For a sucker that's paying for everything, maybe you don't appreciate it when you're young. She certainly has no respect for this fool, as Jasmine refers to him in her native language.
He's like Rodney Dangerfield, essentially like that.
In what sense?
He doesn't get any respect.
Do it.
Shame on you.
It's been a while.
Okay, no, I'm not going to do Rodney. Can we move on
Please.
to Chestershire, wherever the fuck we are? We're in a bit of a trailer. This is something that. What?
I loved it.
Okay, so I'm excited to talk about the state of Airbnb, the state of these kinds of vacations that I think more often than not people go to and either enjoy it or go, I never want to do that again. Now, the only correct opinion to have of that stay there is the latter. If you enjoy it, you're mentally ill. Go ahead, Rubes.
It's like very elevated glamping. It's very, very cool. And the entire time I watched this episode, I kept saying, wow, this looks so fun. This looks fantastic. I would do this. I
Yeah.
would.
It's like a Black Mirror episode. This fucking
You
place.
drive 2.5 hours out from the city
Yeah.
to go in the middle of the woods
Yeah.
to be in a room with ping pong tables and video games.
Hate it. Hate
Oh,
it.
there's the TV over there.
You guys aren't
I have a TV
going
at my house.
to play ping pong. You're not going to play ping pong. You're going to be in nature and be on. This is a very. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to talk anymore because that was so
So
horrifying.
Stats is not doing good this morning. She goes, it's a little different here. It's a little different. I think she says it's just uncomfortable when you're not in your comfort zone. Dempsey burns sage to get rid of the native energies, and I was wondering, what are the native energies in Britain?
I think
They're you.
Is it negative or native?
Oh, well, negative would make a lot more sense because I was like, they're your ancestors. You're trying to get. I mean, you've been white forever.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you're. Yeah.
I thought you were just going to ask a general question, like what she's trying to do with that sage. She's trying to get rid of the cooties. Sage is the vag, which I would be very offended by. Start waving around my crotch area.
Yeah. Why so? Why would you be so offended by that?
Well, what are you trying to say?
You're a slut.
I think so.
Is that what Dempsey was trying to say?
I think so. Stats been with a lot of people. I think that troubles Dempsey a little bit. We haven't gotten there, but that was what you'd call a tell. Oh, let me do over in this corner.
I thought it
over
was
here.
kind of cute, and I thought Stats flipped out about it because she's looking for a way out.
I think she is definitely looking for a way out. But that is her nature. That's the one thing that we kind of diagnosed her with initially, is someone who's not really able to connect on a real emotional level with people.
Are you talking about an autistic person?
No, just someone who's kind of unable to she leads with sex and throws that in there, and then we use this term quite a bit, but love addict or sex addict.
Yeah.
And then once the excitement of that's over, they're generally done with the person. They've gotten what they wanted out of them.
Right.
I think that could be the case here.
Yeah.
I think you're right. And Dempsey was so cute and so happy and so just jovial.
Yeah.
It was really cute and wonderful to see how excited she was to show her the sad ping pong.
Well, the sad ping pong is part of a rich tapestry of caravanning. Evidently, Dempsey is part of a Sherman's Guild, which is they're carnies. Now,
That blew me away.
but when you have a tradition as rich as these carnies have, I think you become like more bardic. You're not quite like carnies. You're more. they've played a very significant role throughout. I mean, it's the Canterbury Tales. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These people aren't just filthy carnies that smoke crack and stab children. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, I believe she said the family were the people that got in there and built the structures of the carnival. Did I get that right?
No, she was part of the Sherman's Guild. They've been doing it for centuries.
Setting
right?
up the carnival, or I was, her uncle, like one of those creepy
No,
guys,
just going around saying, "Hey, this is," because back then you were like, "Hey, what's going on in the world?" And these Sherman's Guild bards would roll through, and they're like, "There's a horde of crazy Gaelics coming through. They're killing everybody," and then they'd be like, "Oh, that's wild," and then you would fight them, but.
And then they'd be like, wait, here, take this ring and try to toss it on this bottle.
Yeah. And then you never could do it. And
No.
they just take all your, what?
Swords.
Shillings?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on.
Okay.
We're moving on. I'm moving on.
I'm moving on.
So we get, well, really quickly, Stats does not give a fuck about any of this.
Not
Dempsey
impressed.
is such an impressive young woman. She is operating a fucking excavator as though it is some kind of, I don't know, like golf cart. I mean, the ease and smooth maneuvering she can pull off out there. And Stats is just like, hey, I can't take a shit. Do you mind shutting the fuck up out there? It's a little loud. And you're like, Stats, this is, I get it. You have to take a shit, but that's really impressive.
Sorry, forgive me. I was answering a text. Very unprofessional of me. Did you guys gloss over the fact how Dempsey kind of came to this place where she wanted to get away? Her sister had passed at the age of 19.
Yeah, her sister
So
passed.
that's another component to this where Stats, I understand you play the game the way you want to play or live your best life. But Dempsey seems a little bit more damaged now than at least at first watch.
So you're saying that
She's more fragile.
Fragile, yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
can't handle the tornado that is Stats.
So are you saying that Stats views Dempsey as some kind of cum rag?
I'm saying Stats is probably in this for a different emotional outcome.
And also wants to move there.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. 'cause
Permanently.
She's like, this. I got all my eggs in one basket, and you're like, you don't want to be here. What are you talking?
Yeah, she was really unpleasant. And our mother, who does not watch this show and is quite sick right now, came into the living room and said, she's a bitch. And I said, oh my God. And she was right. She was being a bitch that
Your
morning.
mom's sick again. What does she have now? Does she have some kind of flu or something?
She's got a flu. I mean, it's not serious.
Okay.
She's a little,
Your mom has a flu?
she's like a cold. Clarity, she's not ill. She just has a, we all get them.
Damn it. All right, so let's get to the honeymooners, Riley and Violet. He blocked her.
I don't believe that for a second. Well, he may have blocked her, but I believe he read everything she said.
100%.
So we bounce back between Riley and bed. Get out of bed, man. And the house of 6B, where we shop, do a little retail therapy with Violet and her younger daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to point out that Riley, while he was sitting in that bed with that beautifully comfortable bathrobe, he states that he can't believe that date the night before went the way it did, given that he wanted it to be a quote-unquote nice date.
Yeah.
Still not understanding the gravity of putting a friend on the phone.
Yeah, it's almost like if you plan and strategize an ambush and then it works and everyone that you wanted to kill, you kill. And you're like, I can't believe we did that. That is just crazy. And everyone's looking around like, what do you mean? We talked about this for weeks. You were like, the rivers will run red with their blood. And you're like, it's really yucky of us, isn't it, guys? She tells the story of when her husband didn't protect her while she's shopping for dresses. And I thought this was going to be a horror story. It wasn't.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
In
more
any
pretty
way,
much
shape, or
every
form.
relationship ever.
Yeah.
My spouse, their parent had an issue with me and they didn't defend me.
Right.
Cry me a goddamn river. Welcome to living.
Right. So you can see how that was a little bit of a bait and switch for me because I was like, oh, something really bad happened. But no, she just thought her mother-in-law was a cunt and she wanted her husband to sever ties with her because she thought she was a cunt.
But Dylan, apparently
Violet's awful.
in this country of Vietnam and maybe it's just this country, as it's explained later by Tommy the tour guide. In Vietnam, it's so important for you to defend your spouse.
Hey, Tommy the tour guide, do you know what the fuck you're talking about? Or are you just talking solely from hyper-personal experience?
Well, I thought he was a man beyond his years and much, much more than just Tommy the tour guide.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Imagine if he had been the therapist for Gino and Jasmine. They'd be engaged already.
I think so. So she texts Riley that he has unscrupulous behavior. And Ice Cube and Chris Tucker lean to the side and they say, damn. Like a total kingpin, she's like, listen, do not ask me any fucking questions on my turf, okay? If we ever
Hey, fucko.
get to Newark or Buffalo or wherever the fuck you're from, you can ask me some questions. But when you're in Vietnam, you shut your fucking mouth, bitch boy. And he's like, hey, you know what? You're right. I feel like I have been completely out of line. You know, she just has such a spell over him. All right, so we get to Cleo and Christian. We head to a farmer's market after a night of less than successful time spent together. Hey, is it your guys' whose birthday is it? What are you, 26? That's crazy.
It's too
Wow, you
old
look
for
way
me.
younger. Yeah,
Yeah.
way younger.
They love.
Nice.
They buy a lovely. What is this?
Oh, well, they get fish and chips.
The bracelet?
Oh, the bead bracelet. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did that do again?
Nothing is what it did. So it was beads.
I want to say this about Christian, and if you watch the trailer for next week's episode, it seems like this charade is falling apart on him.
Yeah, the cock is making him very uncomfortable.
If you were not into
Yeah.
cock, but signed
Yeah.
up for cock,
Right.
but didn't want to look like you weren't into cock and still be a good guy who's into cock, but
Yeah.
not really ever going to go into the cock,
Right.
you would do exactly what he's doing,
I love
which is the bare fucking minimum.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you like
yeah.
that bracelet? Oh, let me rub your back a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, honey, how much is it? Oh, it's $1.75. I'll cover it. I'll get
Come on.
that for you. No, but I love that he says.
You'll get lunch though, right?
He says he's struggling because of the autism. No, it's the cock.
Cock.
Yeah.
100% the cock.
It's not the autism because he's kind of autistic.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's
hey,
the one.
I have these really wicked VR goggles. I'm not saying that everybody who loves those are autistic, but
Well-
they kind of are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, more people with autism should try them out because apparently they really are good for your sensory deprivation
Yeah, exactly.
issues.
It kind of subdues reality a
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but while we're here,
Yeah.
because before I forget this thought, because it's a very important one. Later on in the episode, when they're lying in bed, and neither of them like to make the first move.
Yeah.
This is where Cleo should have taken her moment and just stared him in the eye and said, "I'll suck your cock."
Cleo?
Yeah.
Oh, you want Cleo to make a move?
She would technically be making a chess move to call him out on his bullshit,
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
because neither wanted to move on the, and I think he knew she wouldn't either. And hence the stalemate would allow him to pass one more night without cock.
I think that she wants his cock, but he does not want her cock anywhere near him or her anywhere near his cock. And it sucks, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. Ooh,
Right. Good.
thank you.
So he's such a fucking drunk too. He's like, hey, this would be great for a hangover. Why does everything have to do with drinking? You dumb fucking.
Drunk.
I mean,
I think he's got a drinking problem.
you think? He's
Yeah.
the life of the party. How could he not? Let's get to birthday for Liz. Gino meets her in the elevators with Jasmine and says, you feel 1 year. Sorry.
Here, do the cameras.
you-
He'll do the voice. I'll do the face.
Do you feel 1 year wiser?
What?
What?
The fuck
This
did
is
he say?
this is the only time I've liked Jasmine. She's
Don't listen to this fool.
she just annihilates him. She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Hey Gino, I got a question. What are you fucking talking about? So funny. So they head out for a lovely time on the town. We get in the car, and he says, we've never been here. And she goes, yes, we have. And he goes, are you sure it was with me? I mean, he is a sassy boy right now. He's a very sassy boy.
He's charged up, ready to go.
He's like, I think they get into the, we get into the tuk-tuk or bike thing. And he begins to kind of balk at her criticisms of his cardiovascular strength
Yeah. Oh, boy.
and his endurance.
She has an interesting timing for bringing up inappropriate conversations.
Yeah. She's there's always one thing, not just out of place, but like really, really wrong in every scene she's in, whether she's jogging with a purse or talking about how he can't get her to come in front of her decades younger sister. She's just, there's something wrong.
But it's right. I mean, she'd ruin like him winning an Oscar. He'd be up there. Thank you. She's like,
Yeah.
His cock is so small.
Yeah.
Gino, quit pedaling so fast. Your feet are as useless as your cock.
Yeah, well, she mocks that he never makes her come and that she's faked it. All 7 times they've had sex.
He has made a breakthrough in therapy, though. In the past, this would have really upset Gino, but he's able to couch what I would consider a very offensive statement
Right.
towards me.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he also very self-assuredly says, no, you don't. No, you weren't.
And she goes, yeah, I was kidding, but you weren't. Because there's no way.
Nope. Not a way.
Regardless of his sexual prowess or lack thereof, the hat being on is just too big of a distraction for anybody to come to climax. There's
Correct.
no way. Somebody's in a great trucker hat. We get to the funeral of Sheila's
Do we
mom.
even know her name? I know her name. Her dad's name is Simplicito.
They did dedicate the episode to her, which I thought was wonderful.
Oh, they did. That's nice.
That's
What's her
really
name?
Sweet.
No idea.
Wouldn't it be funny if they just said Sheila's mom?
So Sheila's mom is dead now.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
by what a solemn day and what a splendid place to bury someone next to an abandoned junkyard. And
Hey, stop!
a building looks like it was bombed the prior day.
Hey,
Tell me that is not what it looked like.
I wasn't concerned with the status of what it looked like. Okay, these are people without a lot of means, and David.
Bring her out to a goddamn rice paddy field.
Now you're getting racist,
What?
Kaylin. You got to mark that.
It's much more beautiful and quiet.
I say nothing.
I don't even think there are rice patties there. I'm not sure though. I thought that was more of a Vietnamese thing.
I would say there are way more beautiful places to lay someone to rest in the Philippines. And the entire time that this was taking place,
Well said, Ruby.
it
Not
looked,
Patrick.
It was too hot. It was too hot. It was too hot outside. It was too hot inside. And
What
it was
the fuck?
definitely too hot in the hole that they shoved her mom into.
I got an idea. Fuck it. Light her on fire.
I love it.
That's what they do in India.
Yeah.
Well, David would be okay with anything else because David is deaf. So as they are walking along the street and he comes perilously close to getting clipped by 15 taxis, he's like, I don't like this kind of funeral. I don't like being on the outside. Again, I've almost been run over 15 times. So-
That being said, toughen up, pussy. Go in between two guys. We got the Saving Private Ryan thing again.
Okay, so this is just a very sad and very boring part of the episode. So I'm going to get to Dempsey and Stats in the caravan. We head to the fun zone and we meet a man and a main character in Ben. Now, Ben is just a sweetheart. I mean, he deals with Stats so well, and Stats is so weird.
Yeah, it was interesting, though, to hear him be completely pleasant in front of Stats. And then when he's talking to us as an audience, he's saying what a fucking fidgety weirdo she is.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because she is.
Yeah. A fidgety weirdo.
But she also was not like those types of people. And if you're a socially anxious, fidgety weirdo, when you're meeting someone's friends or like their family, fucking stop it.
Yeah.
Figure
Get
it
it
out.
together.
You
Yeah,
gotta
it's
do
not
better.
cute and endearing. They're not dating you. They're not trying to fuck you. So don't be weird and make them feel like they should leave because that's what
Yeah,
you're doing. And I
that's-
think that Dempsey and him should date.
I make people feel that way sometimes.
Stop doing that.
So
Well, your in-laws like you, so you can't be that bad.
we're doing this thing where he slut shames them, and then he says that they're chalk and cheese. Now, chalk and cheese is it's a sentence, an expression I don't really get because I guess I understand it. It's like the British version of apples and oranges, but I don't understand its application because Kaylin,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Your mom's British.
She is.
Have you heard chalk and cheese before?
Never in my life.
Ever heard bangers and mash?
1,000 times.
Because that's a thing, and that other thing isn't a thing.
No, it is 100% a thing. And football commentators do it all the time. Oh, it's chalk and cheese. It's chalk and cheese. I hear
Really?
it. Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Wow.
But I don't.
The issue I think that I have with it, because I also take
I don't like your
umbrage,
nail color. It's too old lady.
Oh my God.
literally get only
Hey.
this in black because
Hey,
Bobby
Kaylin,
Brown says that
mark
there's
that.
nothing, there's
Mark
nothing
that.
better. Okay, there's nothing more classic than a red nail.
I agree, Ruby.
Thank you, Patrick. Anyways, I lost my train of thought because that was such an ignorant comment.
No, you're ignorant.
Crazy.
Get like yellow.
Oh
or
wait,
something.
no, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh God, could you imagine? The apples and oranges are both fruits.
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese would be like, it's like cars and grass. And you're like, well, those aren't opposites. They're just very different. They're things that
It's
are
like,
different.
it's dragons and buildings. It's dragons and buildings.
What can you do? Right?
Yeah, they're two completely different things.
Yeah.
So
One
Well,
is a medieval fantasy creature that blows fire.
What's your thoughts on that?
Although
Ben?
it's not just medieval. That is white centrism on full display there.
What are your thoughts on Ben and Dempsey hooking up?
I have no thoughts on that. She's a lesbian. They have no sexual energy. Let's get to people who have
disagree.
even less sexual energy. That is Christian and Cleo. New night, clean slate. He says, let's play some baby making music.
What
She
the
says,
fuck?
that won't work with me. He says, good to know. Asterisk. Good to have known for a very long time. That's something that's good to have known about her.
Well, so, okay, and I thought about this. I do not know. Obviously, he interpreted it as one way. I don't know. Was her intention that she was like, that can't happen with me because of my cock? Or was she like, I'm not fucking you, so that's not happening with me?
No, it was like the biological stuff.
Okay. Yeah, then.
I think it was possibly a little funny banter, but since neither one of them come off as they have a sense of humor, it didn't play.
It was too, and
Okay.
it's too intense. That subject material is not. I don't know. It's just kind of not banterable. He brought her something special though, a VR headset. What a fucking dweeb. Things go well, but let's get to it. We get to another uncomfortable time in bed with Christian and a transgender woman he's using to be on television. He says that he usually waits for the girl to make the first move. And Cleo spots this rather innocently and confused because he was likely so overtly sexual when they were communicating before he got there. And I just don't buy him for a fucking second. I think that not only does he not need the girl to make the first move, he doesn't need any form of consent, really. This guy strikes me as the kind of person who would just stick a tongue down a throat. And he's been pushed off by no less than 4 women.
I think he tried to do that on the plane ride over there, if you remember.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had a couple too many Miller Lights and made his way back to some young ladies in the back of the plane.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you guys have come around. Initially, when this started, did you guys have to make your way to him being an absolute fraud with respect to an attraction to Cleo?
No.
No? Okay. I thought I made that case early on, and I thought you guys were still holding judgment on that.
I might have been. I'm not
you
sure.
know what? Actually, I might have been.
But either way, it's very clear now.
Very clear.
And he also Roger Ailes her when he's like, spin around for me before she gets
Oh,
in bed.
yeah.
I was like,
I hate to be a pig. She should have just said, I'll blow you. I'll get on my knees right now. Call him out.
All right.
There you go.
Like, I'll do that right now.
All right.
and you make that sound.
Actually, he's such a loser. He's probably like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a male mouth around my cock.
Yeah.
And then he's making Gino's face.
Why did you have to do the deep throat sound? You didn't need to do that. That's ridiculous.
Turns guys on.
All right, so let's hit the town with Riley. Riley gets dropped off by Tony the tour guide, and
What a wonderful tour through Ho Chi Minh.
oh, beautiful. the fact this scene, the energy signature of a man by himself in Vietnam saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" is horrifying.
And I wanted to ask culturally, because I know in some places it is normal. Is it normal in Vietnam for people to their tour guides be like, no, come do the activity that you drove us to?
It is not normal.
Okay.
I hope anywhere, but
Sometimes it is.
he sits down with him and gets some advice. That advice being what?
Just he wanted to understand Vietnamese culture and how I think he was trying to understand who was right or who was wrong. And he described the situation that the events that had taken place the night before to Tommy, the tour guide. And Tommy had a different kind of angle on the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just he wasn't protecting her. I didn't even think about it that way, man.
I was a little I don't know, my little deer ears perked up. I was like, where's the hunter, you know? And is he going to leave my child named Bambi without a mother?
Oh.
Because Tony the tour guide seemed to be very, very insistent upon Riley's wrongdoing, which led me to the conclusion, which I think is the right one. Tony the tour guide is one of many employees of Violet. There is no way this man is acting in accordance with his own motives. He is being paid to get Riley back on the saddle.
Right.
You felt that way as well, right?
I did. We knew that. What?
Well, I was going to say, and we didn't see the scene where Tommy, the tour guide, killed the actual tour guide that he'd hired to show up. He strangled him.
There's a
lot of murder.
There's
on this show.
There is
Yes, there is.
so much murder. All right, so wrapping up the show. Sorry we went really quickly tonight. If it feels rushed, we're rushed because we're trying to get Frasier in here. Jasmine and Gino. Gino is destroyed. He's very frowny right now. Oh, no. Okay. So while he was destroyed, while he was at his frowniest, immediately after he stood up for himself, despite the suffocating frowns, and said, "You better change your attitude." After he said that,
Also being told that the confession that she's never made him come.
right, he went and bought her a ring. This is how cucked and fucking dead to rights this dead guy is. I mean, she just completely owns him. I don't see, you see these two together and you're like, well, that'll never work, right? Why are they spending any time together at all? Jasmine is a psycho who likes to control men, and Gino is a
Something. ...
toad.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Toad is right. That's really good.
because they frown a lot. They're like,
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what he does as well.
During the bike ride, somehow he slipped away.
I thought he was going to pee.
Well, he pulls out his fanny pack and he pays for some ice cream, and he starts licking the ice creams.
I didn't actually touch him.
Then don't do that. It's not.
That's all. Don't do that.
Don't. Why? That's not even funny.
Also, when he's at the window and he can't speak Spanish, he says, and I swear to God, he's like, to the girls, he goes, pequeño or grande, like chiholding. And he doesn't go back to the English accent. And that's what our dad does at Taco Bell.
Yeah. Can I get a Mexican pizza? Okay, so we end. These episodes end so anticlimactically.
Well,
it's kind of bullshit that there's no have the woman fall through the stairs at the end of the episode.
No. Open up. Big opening. Oh,
wow.
Because you're still
Really?
living off I don't want to say the enjoyment of that because that'd be very wrong and very bad. But you're kind of like, wow, that's interesting. This is a great episode. And then it kind of winds down and doesn't pay off. I say start with the big, end with the small. Go on with a whimper. Mm-hmm.
Why did you just form that hill and then die on it? Seems such an arbitrary
It's
battle.
just
to
Dylan.
fight.
You just don't see someone die on reality TV every day. You know, it's very special.
Well, we saw Lisa Rinna's mother pass and
Lois.
turn into a hummingbird. So
Oh,
that's,
Jesus, it's Lois. No, it's not, Lisa. It's a bird. So that's okay.
It's dead. You're dead.
all right. So Stats and Dempsey. I guess. Yeah. So we're cooking. This is a cute little scene, and Stats says, "I'm more of a hungry man girl." And Dempsey is a chef of sorts. Well, not even of sorts. She cooks for everybody, right?
Yeah, she's is their chef.
Yep.
Dempsey, not knowing really what any raw ingredient has ever tasted like. That was a weird click.
That
huh?
was so weird.
That was a weird click.
Yeah.
Huh? Did you pick that up? Yeah. Oh my God. There's a pocket of spit that just exploded on that click.
Yes, it did.
She ingests a bulb of raw garlic.
Statler. Yeah.
Yes. Now, if garlic is to be consumed raw, it is usually sliced very, very, very thin because of the potency of the bulb. But Stats does not know this because she only eats 3 things: ass, pussy, and hungry men.
Oh, she likes mashed potatoes.
In the hungry man umbrella.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She cannot peel carrots.
No. She cannot peel carrots.
Now, something interesting happens
She
here.
can't peel carrots.
No.
Something interesting happens in this conversation that I've actually taken part in, which is something actually happened to me, which is you're intending to seek a little information and then you make an admission that you shouldn't make, which then puts you in a hole. That's exactly what happens here.
Oh, you're speaking very vaguely. I don't
okay.
understand.
Well, all right. So what happens here is Stats is
Yeah.
kind of digging for Dempsey and relationship status,
Yeah.
and then makes the admission. You know, no one's really ever like truly loyal or honest with anybody. And then Dempsey's like, "Wait, what? So have you ever cheated?"
Yeah.
And then Stats has to own that.
Yeah.
That troubles a lot of people. That was a question on date 2 or 3 that I used to have to deal with a.
Why? Are you confused?
No, not at all.
Okay, I am. What are you
I'm always
talking?
confused when he's confused. Thank God you're here.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about what? Why
I'm
would that
saying
ever
this
come
is
up?
a discussion of new people that are dating that always comes up. Like, did you cheat? And then some people take real offense if you did in fact cheat, and they don't want anything to do with you.
Not
Stats
every-
has put herself in that.
Yeah,
position.
not everybody-
interrogatory behavior that is on day 2. I'd be like, why don't you stay out of my fucking business? Let's have some fucking tapas.
I agree with
Chill out.
I agree with you,
Well,
but
you
it's,
know.
it's
But
topic of
you
conversation.
said this is something that you've dug for yourself.
yeah.
So you were the one at TGI Fridays going, so you ever sucked anybody's dick that wasn't the person
Well,
you're
I said,
dating?
yeah. What, did you? How did that relationship end? Did you end up kind of dating your friend or whatnot? She's like, why'd you ask you that? I was like, oh, I don't know. Sometimes it's you're kind of have a friend that's kind of hanging out, and then your relationship isn't good, and then you end up fucking them. And they're like, what? More alcohol, blue drinks, please.
Yeah.
More alcohol.
More alcohol, blue drinks, and more 90 Day Fiance next week. Everybody jump in the iTunes ratings, reviews, comment. Join us on the YouTubes, Instagram, and TikTok. We love you guys very much. Ruby is at Papaya Dog Girl. Thanks for being here, Rubes.
Thanks for having
Rubes, how long we got you in town?
me. A long time.
Awesome.
Long time
Yeah.
she's here.
Cool.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Kaylin, say goodbye.
Bye.
Should I say goodbye?
No, just Kaylin.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.